He was just looking at the light bulb. He's like, dude, what the hell is that thing? his look of absolute, like, awestruck by things in this room was hilarious. What's going on, everybody? Your host, LovelyCheesePizza here, joined by my lovely wife and my little man who just woke up from like a 4-hour nap. We are back playing some more. As soon as it decides to cooperate. Up. And there we go. Some more Gran Turismo 3, the ultimate driving simulator, where we are just about to hit the halfway point of one of the longest endurance races ever known in the entire universe. Not actually, though, because I know that in Gran Turismo 4 there's like some actual like 24-hour challenges, which are fucking bullshit. That's ridiculous.
And someone learned how to get himself into the
Did he? He did. He's getting ready to crawl, which means he's just about a month or two away from starting to ask us for money. Hooray! All right, and then he's gonna be wanting to take the car to the quote-unquote grocery store that isn't totally his girlfriend's house. Okay, I need to scale that back a little bit. I'm not trying to start having visions of my son having a girlfriend already. I already got one 8-year. He does. Well, actually, he does. Yep, one of her former co-workers. Dude started dating at the tender age of 3 months.
Yay!
So.
Yay!
So any dudes out there claiming that you're the hot shit on the block, my son's got you beat by a metric mile.
Then again, do you see this face? This face is cute as a freaking elephant's ear.
I thought it was elephant's eyebrows. Both? Okay. Speaking of elephant's eyebrows, yes. So, we've got things to talk about.
Oh, thanks.
I mean, when you do recording sessions that involve a whole bunch of episodes or a whole bunch of things like this for one race, you gotta have a backlog ready. So
you gotta do the thing.
The things. So on Netflix, it's been kind of taking everybody by storm here.
Really?
I mean, I've been hearing about it fucking everywhere, and so I decided to give it a roll. I hadn't read the book in a long-ass time. I did, but I don't really remember it because it was quite a while ago. So The Haunting of Hill House came out on Netflix like a couple of weeks ago, and decided to take a plunge on that because, let's be honest, horror things are my favorite, and our favorite. But, I mean, I was going to watch it whether you wanted to or not. It just so happened that it ended up being something that you were really, really into, which was awesome.
Seen all the movies, read the book.
Exactly. So we took the plunge on it. I'd been hearing from people that, you know, it was so scary. It was like they were like losing their minds, and there were like articles out there where it's like people can't even seem to fucking handle this show because it's so scary. And it's like, come on. I mean, I've seen like actual ghosts and shit before, so I hardly believe that a fabricated TV show on Netflix is going to, lead me to a place of manic depression or, hallucinations of demons and things. But decided to watch it, and holy shit, man, that show is really good. Like, did it scare me? No. Were there some legit quality, like, jump scares? Yes.
Yeah.
And like the sense, like the element of suspense and actually building terror for a change, instead of it just relying on cheap jump scares and seeing some weird imagery and whatever. It was really nice. Granted, there were jump scares and some rather unsettling imagery to behold, but like the atmosphere that it built up was really, really good, and like the character building was awesome. And
Especially since they changed the dynamic.
They changed the story a little bit.
I mean,
for people that have read the books, they know that like there are some characters, like they took some liberties in here to really try to enhance it a little bit, which is fine. They added some characters which is okay. And they change just like certain details to, I think, make it a little more fluid, which is fine. I don't have a problem when people take liberties.
As long as it doesn't take away from the essence of the story.
Or
that's
yeah,
important.
or
The
just
envisionings
are nice when they're done correctly, at least.
Yes.
And this was absolutely done correctly. I mean, it was spot fucking on. One thing I really liked about it was its usage of like space and time. Like it really operated in its own scope of time really well. Like because they would to not like give too many details away for people that haven't seen it yet. It bounces back and forth between past and present a lot, but it's really smart about how it does it. It doesn't do like text-based things where it's like, oh, past, present, blah blah blah. Like it'll just do it. And sometimes it won't even tell you that it's doing it right away, and you have to like figure out that it's going on. Like it does such a brilliant job of how it tells the story, and it tells the story at a whole bunch of different angles, and it's just so cool. I can't stop marveling over it. It's truly oh yeah. This is like there's a lot of like horror and scary things that when like you'll watch them and then you go away from them for quite a while because it's like, okay, I got my fix on it. Like this is a show where I could legitimately see myself going back and rewatching it quite a few times, because I guarantee if I do it, it's gonna be one of those things where I'm gonna start noticing a bunch of things that I didn't notice before, and I'm gonna start, it's gonna be just like I feel like almost every time you watch it, it's gonna be like a semi-new experience whenever you do it.
I hope they don't do this. I really truly think
Yeah, I heard that kind of thrown around a little bit that they
might. But the thing is, that has not been confirmed or denied, and honestly,
they don't need to.
I think the way that it ended, because the book, it's a book. It's not something that they need to sit there and put into
This
big,
whole
drawn-out thing. I think if they do that, if they do a second season,
it's gonna dilute it.
It's going to dilute it. It's going to get away from itself. And you're going to take away from what made this first season so amazing. And honestly,
I like the casting they did.
Beautiful job with the characters. They did a beautiful job with the story, and even with the way that they changed the things that they changed,
Still worked out.
It was still very well done. And I mean, I'm a traditionalist. I love books. Adam knows this about me. I'm sure some of you guys have heard me talk about this before.
She's a bookworm for
bookworm.
damn sure.
I've always loved diving into a good book. This was one of the books I read at a fairly young age. It was outside of the horror books that I read. This was one of the early ones that weren't in a series, so to speak, or by an author that I've read regularly. It's not like it was a Stephen King, person, or anything like that. But
Who wrote that book again? Shirley Jackson, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Shirley
right.
Jackson is the woman that wrote this.
She knows what the hell she's doing, man. She painted a damn mural with the English language, and
She really did.
and just like she does great world building for, especially considering like how limited locales that she works inside of. Like she did the shit. It was cool.
Even the movies that they did. The first movie came out in like 1963 or 64. It came out around that time, and it was a great movie. It's called The Haunting. In fact, they remade the movie again in the early 2000s, and that was the one that had Liam Neeson and
Which I need to go back and watch that now.
oh my god, I just fucking thought of this. So we were talking about one of the actresses that was in the TV show that she was in Mystic Pizza.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was
totally
that was
racist.
the one that played
That played Mrs. Dudley.
yeah,
So here's something else for you. The one she played Mrs. Dudley and she was in Mystic Pizza. The one who played Eleanor in the movie with Liam Neeson was also in Mystic Pizza.
Mystic Pizza, where everybody goes to play in horror shit.
But I loved that. I just now realized that. I didn't even think about that. Remember, she was the one that was engaged to Bill in Mystic Pizza. She kept saying,
I've only seen Mystic Pizza once, and it was that one time that we watched it over at your mom's. So I
laughed.
no, I mean there were some funny things in there. I'm not gonna sit here and try to be that guy. Oh fuck that man, that movie was fucking stupid. It's like
He watched Steel Magnolias with me.
it's like I'll give a movie a shot. Like even if it's you know romantic comedies or whatever. Like I've got no problem with giving a movie a shot. You know. Unless I can objectively see from, 30 miles away that this is absolutely going to not be in my wheelhouse at all. Like The Notebook. Which ironically enough, I have seen that movie more times than she has. I have seen it a total of twice, and that was 2 times too many.
I saw it not even one full time. I watched not even half the movie, and I had to get up and walk away. Because that movie was god awful.
Yeah.
It was horrible. I have read the book. I do like I do like Nicholas Sparks' books for the most part. But that one, however, I mean the book was good. It wasn't amazing, but it was definitely good. He's definitely a writer where he writes in the form of a script, which isn't bad. But when they did the movie, that movie was just god awful. The only thing that they did great by that movie was James Garner and Miss Reynolds, Gina Reynolds for Thompson.
And of course, we all know that was like the genesis of where every girl in the world started, having fluids leaking out of themselves over Ryan Gosling. It's true. It's where it started happening.
Man's not good looking.
Like,
I'm sorry. I still see him and I think of Mickey Mouse ears, you twiddly dink.
I don't know. There's certainly worse looking people in the world, but I can't ever look at that dude without seeing the guy that made the random cameo in the Are You Afraid of the Dark episode, the Tale of Station 109.1 or whatever.
It was 109.
And that's the same episode that had Gilbert Godfrey in it. Oh yeah, fucking Iago was in that episode.
I still take it back to his days being in the Mickey Mouse Club. He will always be that fucking kid in the Mickey Mouse Club to me. I don't take him seriously. I'm sorry. I'm sure he is a great actor in some things. However,
just anything that he's ever in, I always just kind of cringe at it. It's not that I think he's a bad actor. It's just like I know that anytime I see a trailer for a movie that he's in, like half of the friends that I have that are girls are all gonna be like, "Oh my god, it's Ryan Gosling! Oh my god, he's the best thing in the world! I have to marry him!"
I think that was one of the things that
It's like, dude.
I appealed to you because I didn't think you was attractive.
And obviously, I am visibly about the furthest thing away from him, just short of being black. I mean, if I were black, I would quite literally be the furthest thing away from Ryan Gosling. But I'm Hispanic, so I'm a nice, fair, 65-yard punt and a fair catch away from Ryan Gosling.
I'm sorry, but I'm also that person, and all you girls out there, and even some of you men, I have never seen Magic Mike, and I don't plan on seeing it because it just looks fucking stupid.
No, you don't want to see you don't want to see the floppy dong movie.
Why?
Because, hey, there are people that go to Las Vegas so they can see that Thunder Down Under bullshit.
I've never even been to that. The only reason I would ever go is for Taryn, and that's because she's my girlfriend and I love her. But even then, guess what? No! I'm sorry. I don't
Different
strokes for different folks.
Uh-huh.
My God. I have had so many people like, oh my God, have you seen that movie? That movie is just, I'm going back to what's the storyline? What is the fucking storyline? He is half naked,
along with
dancing,
along
with
with
Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey's in that movie, which that's what makes it even weirder to me, because that dude's face is like about.
He's cowboy.
It's about
cowboy.
a couple of toothpicks away from being Owen Wilson. The only thing that really separates the two is that Matthew McConaughey's nose doesn't look like a fucking road map.
He's a far more, established actor. Not a problem. Not a problem. I'm sorry, when I see Matthew McConaughey, I think of Lincoln Lawyer. I think of A Time to Kill. I go back a little bit further. Granted, I still see, the... Alright! I still see all that. However, I take it back a little bit further. Because that's what I see him as. And that's not the problem. My problem is Channing fucking Tatum. I'm sorry, the man is not good looking. There is nothing good looking about that man. I don't think, he's not ugly, but honestly, you guys are blowing smoke up your guys' ass over, oh my God, he has muscles. So
oh my God,
Diesel.
I can iron a shirt on his abs. Yeah.
You can do that with Vin Diesel too.
Mm-hmm.
You can do that with The Rock. Far better looking men.
And at least The Rock was The Rock. And at least Vin Diesel was Dom Toretto. Channing Tatum was what? A dude with a freaking with a G-string on or whatever?
He's the guy that's sitting there doing the bump and the... What? The only decent role that man has genuinely had that wasn't bullshit was in Coach Carter. And you know what kind of character he was in that? He was a B actor in that movie. He was not top of the shit. And all of you girls started paying attention to him after you had seen him in Step Up, which came out long after Coach Carter.
Pretty much. So that's that scathing rant. But now, I got one more, thing that I watched recently that I need to talk about, because it absolutely it took me by surprise. Like, I knew it was going to be good, but I did not expect it to be as good as it was. Is season 2 of Castlevania. Ho ho ho! That was a freaking tour de force, man. That show was awesome. So, I watched the first season of it about a year and a half ago.
No, it's about a year.
So I watched the first season of that. Was super bummed out that it was only 4 episodes, but I was still super down with it. I knew that it had all the potential to be good, and so when the second season came out, like, I binged watched that whole thing in a couple of days, and it was so good. Like, it kind of fiddled around a little bit, because it had so much exposition to try to get done. Oh, he's kicking up the farting sounds now. Oh yeah. But once they started getting into like the fucking dirt and grit of it, where Alucard and Sypha and Belmont start, storming Dracula's castle, and you start getting like those hardcore, super legit action scenes. It's just, oh my God, it's animated so well, and you're just sitting there like glued to it, like, holy shit, man. It was visually really impressive, and I definitely went back and rewatched a lot of those scenes, probably at least 4 or 5 times, because you just have to like sit there and appreciate just how good it is. And it gets really heavy. Like the last 2 like the second to last episode of it is most certainly the best one, because that's where a huge chunk of the main stuff is going on. But oh, dude, it's just so good. And like, you're like, there's a couple moments in there where you're like on top of like you're at the highest of highs, just like marveling over how awesome the carnage is. And then it really shifts gears, and you kind of, it throws a couple scenes at you where like you're like legit kind of sad after you're done watching them. It really knows how to kind of latch you in. By the way, Harrison is totally loving my Alolan form Vulpix plushie that I have in here. He was trying to eat her nose earlier. Oh, there we go. He was kind of doing it again a little bit. That's his favorite thing to do with stuffed animals. Is he'll hold on to them. He'll beat the crap out of them by trying to strangle them and like waving them around in the air, and then he'll just try to eat their faces off. So he's the kind of person that when the zombie apocalypse eventually happens in about 65 years, he'll be the kind of person that's like killing people for meat. So, you know, I think, yeah, he'll be the person that, you know, people are gonna want to you know, forge alliances with. Otherwise, you know, he'll be putting a nice spiked boot into their genitals and ripping them off and roasting them with some Bush's baked beans or something. So he will be a force of reckoning.
You see that?
I mean, look at him. You can tell the savagery already. He's like, Daddy, I think I'm hungry. Not for meat or whatever you call it, but I think I might be hungry for some blueberries. Oh, he's trying to get him to laugh. His laughing is so funny because half the time it's not even laughing. It's just like this weird, it's like this weird shriek, like screaming thing. Oh, you can't really hear it. It's so funny. Like he's learned how to scream, like on command now. Like he can just do it. And so every once in a while, he'll just be sitting in the room, and he'll all of a sudden just start screaming just for fun of it. He'll just, and he won't have any expression on his face at all. He's like looking at me like, what the hell are you looking at? But he'll just start, and like he won't have any expression on his face at all. It's just like this blank thing of just and it's so funny sounding because it reminds me of the sound of like the fire alarms that would go off when we do fire drills in elementary school. What the hell was that? It looked like he was squatting like he was gonna take a crap. Oh, for a minute there I thought you had him do it again. Come on. He's not falling for it right now. I thought that he would, but he's holding off on it.
He's trying.
He is. He's yeah, boy. I think we're gonna finish up this lap here, and then we'll probably call it good. We're gonna have to take a break because the battery on my phone is severely low right now, and so I'm gonna take a hardcore gamble, and I'm gonna put the game on pause, and then I'm gonna walk away from it for a while I charge up my phone, and help my brother with making some progress on either God of War or Resident Evil 7, and hopefully by the time I come back to finish this film session, the game won't have totally frozen, because if it does, I'm going to be really not okay, because that'll mean that I'm gonna have to invest like another hour and a half of playing to get back to this spot again, which I totally don't want to have to do. But we'll see what happens. So, at least we're doing really well here. I mean, I don't even have to really comment on our progress at all because we're up by like well over a minute. Oh god. Okay. Here we go. Little, what are you doing? Mr. Owl, how many licks did it take to get the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop? Let's find out. A 1, a 2, a 3. 3. I'm trying to remember all the different segments of those. So there was Mr. Owl, but Mr. Owl wasn't the first one. Who was the first person that he'd go see in those commercials? I know Mr. Owl was the second one. When in like the actual
Is there a turtle?
Mr. Turtle, yeah, Mr. Turtle was one. And I think he's the one that said to go talk to Mr. Owl. He's like something about, oh, go ask Mr. Owl. And so he asked Mr. Owl, and then I think he asked like one other person, and then he got like, was it just the two of them? Okay. All right. Well, I think.
Oh! put your foot in your mouth and be like every other person out there.
Oh, goody. He's like the comment section on Twitter. Okay, let's get around this.
Tiny.
It's full of crap, probably. Alright, guys. I think as soon as we finish up this lap, because I was actually supposed to do it beforehand, we're going to call this one good. And then take a break. And then when my battery is appropriately charged to finish the job, I will be back to do it. But let's move our way through here. God, we're going to need to hit the pits so bad. Our tires are literally almost all red. He puts so much effort into that sound. He like makes his own face red trying to do it. Little guy, what are you doing? What are you doing? He's like, Daddy, Mommy's biting my ass, I think. Oh, was it? He's like, Daddy, what's an ass? Is it kind of like a balls? But then again, what are balls? Is it like a butt? Are butts balls? I don't even know. But what I do know is that this finger tastes really good. Tastes like the rainbow. But what is the rainbow? Is it like a balls? Yes. Yes, it is. Okay, guys, we're going to stop right here. I'm only doing this because if I guess I could have just driven into the pits, but we're going to stop right here. So, when we come back, we will have more stuff to talk about.
I probably will not be here.
But I will be, and we'll have some things to discuss, I'm sure. So, until then, my friends, this is your host, Lovely Cheese Pizza, with my lovely wife, Mikaela, and the little man, Harrison, saying thank you guys for stopping by and watching.
Baby cheese pizza.
And we will see you later. Yes, it is Baby Cheese Pizza.
Baby cheese pizza.
And Mrs. Cheese Pizza.
And Mrs. Cheese Pizza.
Prince Cheese Pizza and Princess Cheese Pizza are both asleep in the living room because. So you guys take it easy. We'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Have a good one.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.